Good day, gentlemen. What is the greatest pharmaceutical known to man? Well, it's what you were made for. It's what you were made to do, and it's what our modern world doesn't really encourage too much of. That's physical exertion. That's the most important part of an early morning routine. If you look at any coach who's at a high level, a coach of mastery, whether it's Tony Robbins or Sharma, they talk about the early morning routine as being a pivotal aspect of an optimal life, living in an optimal way, right? And of the various things that we can do in the morning, whether it's jump into ice cold water or ice cold shower, whether it's exercise, whether it's meditation, or whether it's planning out our day and doing a ritual of a journal or yoga or whatnot, I argue that the most crucial aspect of that morning routine, that morning equation, is the physical exertion, the exercise. If you can bring yourself, gentlemen, to hop out of bed, throw your shoes on, and go for a run, you can hit this physical exertion point that I'm talking about. Now, this is not just going for a brisk walk, gentlemen. This is what I'm talking about, okay, is a very important point, hard to define and describe, but it's essentially when your head begins to bead sweat, where you're at about 90% exertion for 30 seconds or more, right? So if you were running, it might take you several minutes to get to that point. It might take you at least 5 to 10 minutes to get there, depending on how fast you're running. If you were doing burpees, you could get there within 35, 40 burpees. You'd hit that crucial point that I'm talking about. And that physical exertion where you begin to bead sweat, where your body's just it's close to its max capacity. It sends triggers in the brain and it says, okay, dissolve all the stress hormone. Cortisol's gone. You have no more stress hormone, right? It's out of your body first thing in the morning, ideally. And at the same time, you're getting a perfect concoction of dopamine, serotonin, and neuropernephren, which neuropernephren is a brain regeneration, essentially fighting off Alzheimer's and also making you smarter, regrowing brain cells and neurons, right? So, it's I think, to me, very, very, very obvious, right, that this is a crucial and pivotal point for all men. Now, a lot of gentlemen out there in depression, a lot of people these days, with staying indoors and so forth, are not really fulfilled. They're not living. They think they're not fulfilled. They're not. But they don't really know how to kick it, right? People are turning to alcohol and drugs, pornography, whatever kind of pleasure they can turn to escape the pain, right? And I'm going to tell you, gentlemen, you want to embrace the difficult things in life, right? You want to embrace those challenging, difficult things so that life is not difficult for you. All the things that seem difficult for everyone else become easy, okay? They become effortless. You can't be stressed or triggered. You're calm as the freaking breeze because you're high. You're high. You've created your own supply. Seriously, though, this is what I want to encourage you gentlemen out there to do. I just want to stress this point because I see it. You've got all these various aspects: chasing money, chasing women, and creating a balanced and harmonious and optimal life, right? How do you do that? And I've come to the understanding, the conclusion within myself, that you cannot do that without this part of the equation. And with this part of the equation, other things could be out of balance, could seem inharmonious. You could be down on money, you could be having an issue with your woman, but all that just dissolves, it's gone. When you're right within, everything without, everything outside of you is somehow right. So you work on you, everything else seems to iron itself out, right? Now, how can you reach this state that I'm talking about? Like I mentioned before, one way you can do it is throw on your shoes first thing, waking up. Maybe you shit, shower, shave. I'd say maybe you just shit and piss, right? Throw on your shoes and fucking run out the door as fast as you can. Get out the door, take off running, right? You run for 7 minutes plus. Try to run as fast as you can, close to as fast as you can, the last 30, 45 seconds of that run, whether it's 6 minute plus. I'd say ideally, gentlemen, 7 minute plus, right? But you can get this high that I'm talking about, this physical exertion high where everything just dissolves. And all of us gentlemen have mostly felt this at some point in time in our life. Maybe when we were young, playing sports or whatnot, or we were out running around. At some point in our life, we felt this. And then, it may be in a long time since you yourself have reached this state, but you can reach this every day within a very quick amount of time. Another way you can do it, I'm going to give you guys some ideas on how you can hit this state, right? How you can find your balance, how you can reset yourself, right? Another thing you could do, another thing I did earlier today, I just started doing burpees. Okay, a burpee, if you gentlemen don't know, I'll show you real quick. This might be a little awkward for the camera, but I'll straighten it back out right after this. Okay, and by the way, I'm here in Seoul, Korea. If you guys can see the city down here below me, I'm on top of the mountain here. It's beautiful. Got some pigeons up here. I'll show you guys real quick. Can you guys see that? See those pigeons over there? There's a gentleman sitting on the mountaintop over here contemplating. We've got a guy down here telling me I've got to put a shirt on. But I'm just going to keep making the video. So I'm going to show you guys what a burpee is, okay? Burpee looks like this, all right? Burpee, you're going to go down into a push-up, and then you're going to jump up, you see that? And then you're going to jump up into the air, okay? That's one, right? That's two, right? That's how you do a burpee. All right? Now, I did about 40 of these earlier today. Now, for you, it might not, if you're not in as good a shape as I am, you might not need to do 40 burpees, right? You might be okay even at 20. You might hit that exertion point, but I want to encourage you to keep going. Just go ahead and do 40 burpees. It should get you there, right? And try to do them fast. The last 10, 8 or 10, do them as fast as you can, okay? And you'll find that you'll have beads of sweat on your head. You'll find that you're reaching that exertion point, okay? So that's another. So running, burpees. You could also, if you love swimming, you could do this with swimming as well, but you really have to go after it, yeah? And let me see. You could also do something. I'll give you guys an exercise, all right? I'm just going to show you another exercise, okay? Now, you could do this, you could repeat this, where you're going to do, let's say 10 push-ups, okay? I'm not going to do 10, all right? And then you're going to do 40 running in place mountain climbers, okay? And then you're going to take a break, quick break. You're going to do burpees, 10 burpees, and then you're going to do 20 jumping squats, okay? And repeat that 2-3 times. You can do that within 10 minutes, and you'll have hit that exertion point that I'm talking about. The important aspect is that, if it's 100 degrees outside and you're sweating, you may not be hitting that exertion point, but you should feel it. It should be max capacity, where you're getting to 90% for an extended, several minutes, or you are getting to like 99% where you feel like you're about to have a heart attack. You're sprinting as long and as far as you can. You don't have to get to that place, gentlemen, but I think you can get to 90-95% of your capacity, and that's going to be triggered. That neurochemical release that I'm referring to, that perfect pharmaceutical concoction that I'm talking about, you can reach that within a couple of minutes, depending on how strenuous the exercise is. But, gentlemen, This is a cure-all, gentlemen. Depression can exist if you're exercising and you have this release. You can't be depressed, okay? You can't. Now, you might need to exercise again in a couple hours if you got something really heavy you're going through, maybe a breakup or a difficult time with your lady or whatnot. But you can kick any type of negative energy, any type of depression you can kick it through exercise. So also anger, frustration, you can get in the gym, take it out on the gym. Of course, I try to get into the gym regularly myself, just about every day, but everybody doesn't have access to a gym, and I don't want people to think that they need a gym in order to get this benefit, because it's totally unnecessary. You can do it, if you were locked up in prison, you could still get all these benefits. All right. Let me look at my notes just real quick, see if there's something else I want to cover in regards to this. Let's see. Okay, one other point I wanted to make with this, gentlemen, is that you do this you get this discipline right, okay? You do this very, very, very first thing in the morning, okay? Upon waking. And it's going to make it easier for you to meditate. Whether that's just for 1 or 2 minutes, or that's 10, 20, 30 minutes, it's going to make it easier for you to find your peace and meditate. You can just close your eyes after you've hit that exertion point, after you've had a hard workout, right? After you're sweating in, you close your eyes and you're going to find yourself in meditation. The mind, because you're going to be in the flow state, right? Through that exercise, right? To the point where your mind's going to be working less and less and less, where your mind's getting more and more clear. You close your eyes and you're going to find it easier to meditate. You're going to find it easier to plan your day, to structure your day, and you're going to find that you're going to flow much easier in whatever path it is that you go. Your intuition's going to be peaked as well. You're more likely to conquer. You've already done the hardest thing you can possibly do first thing in the morning, so you've already won the day within the first 10, 15 minutes of waking up. Okay? All right? And then what do you do next with your day, right? You go conquer something else. Do something that maybe is a little bit out of your comfort zone, something you need to do for your business or your endeavor that you're pursuing, right? And you push forward, right? So it makes it easier to push forward in every other aspect of life when you get this one aspect of your life straight first thing in the morning. Essentially what I'm saying, gentlemen, is that to me it's obvious that this just adds to the overall quality of your life, every other aspect of your life, when you get this one thing squared away, this one habit, all right? It's going to make it easier to journal. You're just going to have a clear head, right? So it's going to make it easier for you to carry out whatever disciplines or positive habits that you are trying to install or that you have already installed. You got me? Give me another moment, gentlemen. Let me look at my list. Be sure that make sure there's not something else I want to cover in this regard. So, look, gentlemen, this channel is, who am I, right? I'm Lawrence of Asia. Sean Michael Lawrence of Asia. Now, we're here in Seoul, Korea. Okay. Got some birds here flying in the air. This right here, gentlemen, I'm just outside of the main part of Seoul. I'm in an area called Incheon, which is where the airport is. And it's just a 15-minute drive over to this area here. I bike often along the river and so forth. There's a Seoul Tower over here. You probably can't see it with this camera. Just using my phone. So I doubt you can see that. But, yeah, who am I, right? I'm Lawrence of Asia. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm Lawrence of Asia. Why? Well, I've traveled the world for the last 13 years, gentlemen. Yes, 13 years. 36 years old now. I started traveling when I was 23. I was married to a beautiful Colombian girl, and from a pretty wealthy family and well-off family in Colombia. Everything was great. She was beautiful. Lovely girl. Got nothing bad to say about her, right? Wonderful. However, I wanted more. I had some roommates that, they had, the girl was a white girl, her husband was Chilean, and they ended up being our roommates after we had moved out to San Francisco for a brief period of time. And they had this travel video in which they had traveled the world for a year together, and they documented all of it, right? And it was absolutely fascinating. I was like, my God. I had already been to Colombia a couple times, but after I saw this, I was like, that's all I want to do. I need to travel the world. So I let go of that relationship. At that point in time in my life, that was the most difficult thing I had ever done up until then, right? I let that relationship go and let go of all my material possessions, and I began hitchhiking from San Francisco, eventually through Arizona, Yosemite National Park, Arizona, and eventually all the way through Mexico, Guatemala, came back to the States, and then flew to Japan, and then later Thailand, Malaysia, recorded some music in Japan, and then was traveling as a musician throughout all of Asia, Southeast Asia, and so forth. And I ended up going to India, leaving all my music stuff behind, and going to India with absolutely nothing, because for me, my travel was always a spiritual journey. For me, it wasn't, I'm going to go to the nicest place, I'm going to stay at the nicest resort, none of that. I was absolutely minimalistic. The first 85 days or so that I traveled, I remember I only paid to stay in a place once. I paid $20 at a hostel once when I was with some Japanese girls hitchhiking through Arizona. And we had hitchhiked to the Grand Canyon. So, let's see here. Eventually made it to Asia, recorded my music, traveled throughout Asia. And then, a lot of interesting stories in there, gentlemen. But I spent, since then I've spent time in Europe. I've spent time all around the world, okay? I've been to 35 countries or so. And for sure, absolute fact, for me, the very, very, step back so you guys can see the view for a second. The absolute best part of the planet for me, whether it comes to food, whether it comes to women, whether it comes to culture, it's Asia. Now, I'm in South Korea. They can be a bit cold here, okay? I've got 2 children here. Life's beautiful, all right, guys? Now, I know women of every country, pretty much. And I know Asian women. I know Asia just as well as any person on the planet. So that's why I am Lawrence of Asia, because I know Asia as well as anybody. Absolutely. So as a foreigner, I am an expert on Asia. If anyone is, I am, right? So that's why Lawrence of Asia. Now, this channel, what's this channel meant to be about, gentlemen? As I'm trying to define it for you all. My father took his life in 2014. And it was from a long time of suffering, okay? He wasn't staying physical and staying in physical shape. He could have overcome all that, right? All the depression he was in. But it's not my mom's fault, but my dad suffered as a result of the difficult times that they had, the breakup and everything, and the dissolution of our family, right? I saw my dad suffer for a long time. He got caught up on that for far too long. But if I can help any of you gentlemen to avoid that, that's really, where I'm coming from. I want to help you gentlemen to live an optimal life. I want to serve humanity, okay, but I feel that I'm most suited to serve men. And there is a lack of men serving men. Lack of service to men these days, So if I can just be a humble servant and leader for all you gentlemen out there, and any women out there, you're welcome to tune in, but this channel is absolutely for men. That's who I'm here to serve. Okay, so the different aspects of our lives, gentlemen. Okay, now if anything's troubling us as men, more than likely it's going to be, financially, yes, we can have troubles there, sure, but when the rubber hits the road, one of the greatest things that men have trouble with is women. Absolutely. I mean, we all, that's pretty obvious. If you're a man, you know that. At some point in time, maybe not now, but just a matter of time for most of us, right? Basically all of us, yeah? So, especially with the state of relationships these days, you know, how women are seeing relationships and their expectations, and then how men are, maybe a lot of men want more of a traditional woman, and women are not being encouraged to be that, you know? So, if I can help you gentlemen in that regard in any way, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve you in that regard, if I can. Now, I'll mention this. I'll make a separate video about this, but I'm going to turn this a little bit too much sun on me. I'll make a separate video about this, okay? But the greatest thing you can do as a man, all right, and this pertains to Asia again, okay? Now, you may not be into Asian women. You may be into blonde hair, blue-eyed girls, in which case I'd point you to go to Eastern Europe. Maybe not Ukraine at this time, you know, but I would encourage you to go to Eastern Europe. Because the greatest thing you can do as a man, it's so simple, right? Now, you want to be building yourself, the exercise, the fitness, the finance, all that. That's great. But as far as logistics go, changing your location. I'm going to make a separate video about this, like I said. But changing your location, gentlemen. And for me, I love being in Asia. I love Southeast Asia. I love Bali, Indonesia. There's my tribe there. I love Thailand, North Thailand, Chiang Mai and Pai, and I love the islands in the south. I like the ease of life. I like the healthy food. I love the durian. I like the ease of lifestyle. And for me, I make most of my money, all of my money, in the States. And then I live in Asia. Right? So, yeah. Change of location, gentlemen. If you change your location, you may find that you only need to spend 20% the amount of money that you're spending now in, say, Houston, Texas, or Atlanta, Georgia, San Francisco, New York, wherever you find yourself, gentlemen, okay? It doesn't have to be Southeast Asia for you. You may love Latin women, in which case I'd say go to Colombia, go to Argentina, go to Mexico, go check it out. And another thing, gentlemen, you don't need a lot of money to travel. I used to travel, by the way, I mentioned to you all earlier, you know, I spent next to nothing the first 80 some odd days of my travel. I had a hammock with a built-in bug net. I could put it up anywhere and I could sleep. I'd hitchhike. Now, nowadays I probably won't hitchhike, right? But you can. And there's nothing wrong with it. And it's actually fucking exciting. It's cool. And then you realize that fucking anything is possible. And also that, you know, money's not really the obstacle. Dude, I've known a girl from Barbados that caught a ride from San Francisco to Australia on a sailboat working as a chef. She didn't have any money. You can do that, right? You can get around with no money if you decide, gentlemen, what it is you want. Keep your sexual energy. Hold on to it. I'm talking to myself as I'm telling you, okay? But there's a reason that so many men online are talking about nofap, and it's the fucking truth. You know, it's celibacy. It's brahmacharya, gentlemen. There's real truth to it. That is your life energy, right? You can't be super alive and vibrant if you just let your seed go minutes before, all right? It depletes you. So you have to master pleasure, gentlemen, and master yourself, master your energies, gentlemen. Inner alchemy, transmutation, okay? And that'll give you more energy, more vibrancy, more tenacity, higher testosterone to go after what it is you're envisioning for your life. It'll allow you to dream, right? So I know I'm talking about a lot of different aspects here, and I like to do that because really they all culminate together. I don't want to watch for myself a 10, 20, 30-minute video on only one subject alone that just keeps repeating the same thing, making the same points. All this comes together. It all culminates together in a perfect alchemy, okay, to spiral you upwards, okay? Most people are just spiraling here. They're just down here already, and they're just spiraling here, slow, and they're just getting older, and they're withering away, right? Can you find a way, gentlemen, to spiral upwards, right? How can you do it? Tune into this channel. I'm going to teach you how. You can live in a place of bliss. Look, gentlemen, get your feet on the earth every day, okay? This electromagnetic world we live in, this disconnection from nature, and think, oh, it's fun. No, seriously. We don't realize it. I don't realize it myself. I can stay right there in that city. I can stay right here in Seoul for weeks and weeks and not make it up here to the mountain, not take my shoes off, not get into the water, right? And not put my bare feet on the earth. I don't know what I'm missing. Also, gentlemen, the silence of nature, the lack of electromagnetic frequencies around us that we can't even see, that are passing through us while we're sleeping, gentlemen. It inhibits our creativity. It inhibits our intuition. And it disrupts our optimal health. All right? These are just some things I want to talk about here on this channel. Guys, make a point to be physical, okay? I'm going to go back to the original point of this video because I want to hammer this home again, all right? Now, look, if you can just, starting right this effing second, all right? If you can just drop down and do 10 push-ups, right? Do 5 squats. Something, okay, is my point. Anything that is moving you in the right direction, okay, is better than doing nothing. Getting used to building the habit of being physical, of moving your body, okay? Exercising in one way or another. And it doesn't have to be the perfect workout. Okay, it doesn't actually matter. Okay, you don't need a perfect workout, gentlemen. You need to move your body. You need to be active. Okay, get in the flow state. Move. We're going to talk about flow state as well and how to reach that. For me, I can listen to music all day long. Flow, guys. I'm about to be climbing this mountain. Now, I'm only about a third of the way up this mountain right now. I've got about another kilometer to go straight up the mountain. Now, there's steps going up. I'm going to show you the path right here below so you can see. Okay? It's a path going up, right? Goes up that way. Okay? You can't see all of it from here. But when I reach the very top, there's like something like an Eiffel Tower up there on the top of Gyeongsan, right? That's the top of the mountain. It's called Gyeong Mountain. Gyeongsan. San is mountain in Korean. All right. When I get to the top of Gyeongsan, I'm going to... My shoes are going to be back on, of course. I'm going to scamper down through that trail, a very, very, very rough and rugged and tricky trail where you have to be on your toes the entire time. Now, another point, gentlemen. Think back to when you were young, and what did you just fucking love to do? What was it? Was it playing basketball? Was it getting into the woods? Was it mountain biking? What was it? And think about those things and try to build your life, no matter how old you get, whether you have a family or whatnot, and incorporate those things into your life. Don't lose yourself in the modern life where you're just struggling to survive. Remember to make those parts of your life, make time for those parts of your life, those things that you truly enjoy. For me, one of those is getting out into nature. One of those is getting into any natural body of water. If I can just get into the ocean for 10 seconds, or a river or a lake, for just 10 seconds, I know that my day's better. Something about it where it just takes all my stress away and it just gives me so much energy, right? So build your life in such a way that you make a point, design your life in such a way that you make a point to incorporate these things that you love to do when you were a child, make them a part of your life as you age. As you age. That doesn't sound nice, does it? But yeah, as you move forward through life. For me, it was mountain biking was one of the greatest things I ever enjoyed. I grew up racing motocross, but later in my 20s and so forth, one of the things I enjoyed doing the most is throwing some headphones in and mountain biking. You know, some nice terrain, nice rolly terrain, not just straight up and straight down type stuff, but I just loved that. But scampering down this mountain is also reminiscent of that. It's a little bit out of control. I like that. A little bit out of control, edgy. I could break something. 99% likely I will not, but I could, right? I like that bit of danger, you know, and it keeps me on my toes. And you know what? You can't help but be in flow state when you got a bit of danger, you know, at your footstep, right? So, all right, gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up the video here. I'm about to climb to the top of the mountain and head down. You gentlemen, put something in the comments here. If you've made it to the end of the video, let me know that you made it to the end of the video, and I salute you, okay? There you go, right hand, gentlemen. I salute you. If you did make it to the end of the video, and if you didn't, well, hopefully, that's absolutely fine. But hopefully I keep making these videos, gentlemen. This is something that, you know, I know I have a lot to offer. Traveled the world for a long time. I've seen a lot. I know a lot. And if I could humbly be a servant for you all in any way, you know, I feel that that's what I'm meant to do. All right. So I love you all so much, gentlemen. God bless you. Make it a most blessed and beautiful day, evening. You got this. All right. God bless. Peace. Make it a great day, gentlemen. I'm going to leave you all with a view of the city one more time, okay? All the answers are within you, gentlemen. Get unstuck. Get unstuck. Move. Move through the world. You're alive. Give gratitude every day. Make something of it. Bless somebody today. Go out and share your smile with the world. Love you. God bless, gentlemen. Peace.